Well, I guess you know by now that the DOC is
in for brother Sheehan and Mad One. What say you?
I'm glad you're here, Doc. Merry Christmas. How you doing?
Well, I'm good if I get this mixed minus out of my life.
I was gonna say I hear a little bit of an echo going.
yeah, and I don't quite understand why, but
This
it is.
technology thing is, we'll get it figured out.
We always do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why we have that. But no, it's the season of giving. I mean, I've been probably seems like it's been 20, 25 years of while he's on vacation. You know, the job still has to be done.
Always. You know, we just
Yeah,
plug away. We do as we're assigned. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And it's one of those times that unless you're an alien, you feel the spirit
Mm-hmm.
and the memories that it echoes are always fantastic because it's one of the happiest times of the year. And Kevin always mocked me, made fun of me because I listen to Christmas music year round. I mean, if I why would I be limited
Yeah.
to
Now,
one
when you need to be in the Christmas mood, like that's
exactly?
you
Yeah,
got to be in the Christmas
chestnuts
mood.
roasting on an open fire.
That's
All I
right,
got to do
baby.
is putting that in, go with it, go with Luther, go with Bing Crosby, go with it. There's so many of them
Andy
that
Williams,
are
Bing
classics,
Crosby.
and it's a mood swing that's controllable. And that's why people indulge in alcohol and other things. They have a direct agenda. It's to a state of mind they want to get into. And it's amazing how instantly, upon maybe 50, 60 tunes, go in and it completely takes your mind over. It squashes hate, it squashes indifferences. And all of a sudden, there's a purity about it. It's just like the lights. Who doesn't love the lights?
It's true. It's true. There's something wrong with you if you don't. You're not messing with some good. If you're not going to look at lights around Christmas time, I think you're not really about the holiday.
Well, I'm just saying, but just think about it. Of all, it's just what we use sports. We're hooked. We're under the influence
Always,
of athletics
of course,
or competition
that as well.
or the sport of the game, which is wagering. It's either one of the and all of them are good. There's no bad. It's
Mm,
whatever floats your boat. But I think we have to come to grips with it and understand that the one thing that unites the masses, I don't really even, I mean, it's one of the, I mean, maybe you can come up with another one other than Independence Day where fireworks and food, but it always, usually, could those combine food. Christmas, I don't put it, Thanksgiving, obviously, gobble, gobble, gobble.
of course,
But I don't put Christmas in there necessarily with food.
it's not. I mean, Christmas dinner is obviously a thing everywhere, but my family, we usually keep it pretty light. It's usually like how do I put it? Hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, things here and there, just little
It's not
small.
memorable. It's not memorable.
Exactly, it's small things that you just go up and grab. You're not like all
Yeah.
sitting down at the table as a family and like passing around stuffing, mashed
Yeah.
potatoes, making plates and stuff. Yeah, it's a very different holiday when it comes to food. But like really, everybody knows why we love Christmas. It's giving and receiving gifts. That's the best part, at least for
Yeah.
me.
And you said it with sincerity. And the giving, as you find out as you get older, is better than receiving.
Very much so.
Yeah. The ability to give and to change someone's atmosphere. There's always one toy, I think, that's embedded in our minds that was the toy. It was the Christmas
Oh yeah,
when you
the
when you
hot
rocked the
ticket
boat.
item.
Yeah, when your folks had a triple double,
Oof. I'll never.
because it's on them because you're broke. All
It
right,
is.
you're
It
not
is.
even employed, and that triple double. And what was that item? What was it?
Well,
that to me
so I got
is the one that's the Shaquille O'Neal rim rocker.
It was mine was back in, I think it was 2012. I think it was RG3 Mania. I of course asked for an RG3 jersey, just like I asked for a Jaden Daniels jersey this year.
Wow.
Wow,
Jerseys. Woo.
Of course. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Hey,
I was caught up in the fever, you know what I mean?
You've got kahunas.
Yeah, I guess. I did at the time, and then we had to repurpose that jersey a couple different times, but it was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an RG3 jersey. I'll never forget it. Christmas morning, my brother opens a Christmas gift from that's addressed to him, and he opens it. It's an RG3 jersey, and he's looking around. He's like, I don't think this was for me. And my mom just grabs it and is like, oh, whoops.
No, she didn't.
Oh yeah. She looked at my dad, and she was she was not very happy. And my dad just kind of sheepishly was like, I put the wrong label on it. And who knows? He might be listening right now. But Dad, if you're out there, just know that's one Christmas moment I will never forget.
That's all that matters. The difference in our age obviously is documented. So the things you unwrap, you had the benefit of some technology,
of course, and that was always on the list.
We still had Tonka toys.
Oh man,
yeah,
trucks.
But we had Tonka toys.
Little mini cement mixer.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. But still, the train, the Lionel to train, and the train track, the movement within that electric football, which you guys would laugh at.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be able to. Yeah. It wouldn't be able to capture. Your minds move so rapidly. You have no patience because you had instant. Everything was instant in your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, obviously not. As obviously you learned to wait because the technology didn't allow you to speed things up.
You're a lot more patient.
So it sounds like a joke now that a board is buzzing and these little figures are going around. You would find no entertainment value in it whatsoever. And yet I can remember hours upon hours with this thing, just like the track, putting the train together and the Lionel train and the movement of all these things. You know, it's amazing. And I know some people don't give a hoot. They've already left. But it's rare that people don't still put that in a treasure chest. That's one of those things to where you won. That's your Super Bowl. That's your Rose Bowl. That's your Independence Bowl. Whatever it is.
364 days a year. I'm looking forward to Christmas. Go. Yeah. Especially when I was little. You kidding me?
You
There's always something I wanted.
I'm not against it whatsoever. I mean, I'm all for go.
Yeah, kind of against it.
But, well, you can't. You're not going to win that battle.
See, that's the thing. It's a losing battle. And the older I get, the more it's like, I see the negative effects of these things. Yeah, but that's a story for another time.
You will see. As opposed to a year ago, and that's the thing about it. When they say, put your feet on it, put your foot on it, are you in cement? You know where we were a year ago?
We were on top of the damn world, Doc. It was great. It was awesome. And
we got a chance to see it. The view was much better from the top.
Very, very nice up there.
Now, what do we learn from that, and how does that
motivation
affect where we are now, and then where we hope to land? Because I try not to be overly critical at this point.
It's hard
because it involved but the crux of the success was centered around most of the same characters.
Yeah, and a lot of those characters
still available. And so, as enthusiastic as you were, wherever you are now, has got to influence where we go from here. And we still have 2 more games. And there's half of our listening audience that is pulling for the Cowboys because they equate a record with a more favorable drafting position, which means in their mind that they'll be able to get a higher quality player. What I offer people is don't forget from where you come from and what those have done that you have now. What suggests to you there's going to be they're going to morph into a different ideology. You saw how they evaluate talent, who they pick, and you also saw they don't even play them. The majority of the people that they pick, how would you rate them?
So far,
Well, how's the experiment going?
Not great so far.
Well, I'm just saying, it's
listen,
just one side of it.
You got
is
one
what I'm
up
saying.
year, and then you got one down year. We got to see where
What makes you
we
think?
fall next year. Because
You don't know.
Kevin and I talk about.
Do you really know?
Well, Kevin mentions it all the time. It's evaluating a draft class. You can't really do that fully till about 3 years in, and we are.
Well, he's a coach, and he gets it.
Yeah, and we're.
But we don't take that recommendation to heart.
Yeah,
we still bitch and moan.
Of course, and
we're bitch and moan center.
Well, because we're reactionary. Like we got to react to everything that we see, and I understand that completely. But at the same time, you got to give these things time. Now you can't just like after 1 year or a one good year have people be like, let AP cook, let AP cook. You got to evaluate it. You got to see how these things progress, because a lot of times in the NFL and a lot of times in sports in general, it's never linear.
But who's
very
doing that?
rarely?
Who's doing what you just suggested? Nobody. Who's doing it?
Who's doing what? Screaming, letting AP cook after a year. There were a lot of people do. There were a lot of people doing that. A lot of people in this building that were doing that. And
okay, I guess my standpoint is right now. What is the temperature? What's your gut tell you?
I mean,
who benefits from this performance that we have to weather for 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
That's got to matter.
For sure.
Because here's my point.
It always matters.
And if coach will hear, here's what I say to coach.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he may not buy it because he's a coach. If you're waiting until next preseason, good luck.
Well, that's the thing.
Because nobody plays in the preseason.
Right.
This is your best opportunity to see people that if you have a question about them,
put stuff on tape.
Let them play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put them in the game.
I completely agree.
So we can then evaluate them. What are you hiding?
I would like to see more Ali Cahill. I'd like to see more Kane Medrano. I would like to see
more. When have you seen him?
Listen, I saw him on the first snap of the Eagles game, and that was it. That was all I saw. And he forced a fumble, or he picked up the fumble. So I think that's a pretty good start. I think we'd like to see more of it. But hey, who knows? I guess Dan Quinn and Adam Peters, it might be a little bit of a difference of opinion on this side of the desk.
Well, I'm just saying, and this is not for dramatics. What I'm asking as an honest question that has been posed to the listening audience is that have you heard anybody give you an explanation that you bought into and said, okay, that makes sense? I haven't.
No, it's all speculative at this point.
I haven't heard the coach even rationalize this to the point where I go, really?
And that's the other thing about it, because we're coming from a regime that was so loose-lipped about things and would let everything that they wanted to leak. Now we're dealing with an airtight ship, and they are not going to give us anything they're not going to give us anything to go off of, is what I'm trying to say. So I got to just kind of see and evaluate the vibes from where I'm sitting, which is I'm not in the building. I keep up with everything, but like I said, I'm not there. I talk to people who are there, but again, like I said, they do a great job at not letting things get out. So it's just.
Oh, but what are they not letting get out? What they're showing you by their actions.
Yeah.
They speak by what they do, not by what they don't do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm like going, really? Who's hiding what? And you're not in a position to hide. Your record indicates you should be on total blast.
Yeah, the seat should be warm.
Not to be overly critical.
Yeah.
Because with less than 12 months ago, they had flipped the script. So are you going to blame this on injuries? Or are you going to blame this on lack of development?
I think it could be both, for sure. Now, percentage-wise, I'm going to chalk it up to 80% injury and 20% lack of development. But at the same time, it's been a lot of just signing older veteran guys who haven't really done a ton. And some guys are stepping up in big moments. Like Antonio Hamilton had that game a couple weeks ago, but man,
I don't see it that way.
I don't see
it that way. I see it that everybody can sustain injuries.
Mhm.
You have one of the better, if not the best, backup quarterback in football.
Yeah. He's borderline starter.
So what did you do with it?
Well, not run
I
the
mean,
ball.
you had a running game that statistically, I've heard the coach even mention it.
Yeah. He wanted to lean into it
Statistically,
more.
you look good in some categories, but I don't think you're on the same page. See, your core beliefs have got to come in question and as to who are you.
Mhm.
I have said this and continue to say they do not play complementary football.
They haven't all year, and that's been a big problem.
Well,
Defensively, I
but-
think that's a lot to blame on that, but because they put the offense in a bad spot, and then the offense and Cliff tried to get. I said this yesterday. Kevin liked it a lot. You can't get cute out of a coach, and a lot of times there's some things where I'm raising my eyebrows at Cliff about getting cute because you're throwing the ball 3-4 times from the 1 yard line. Like, what are we doing, man? Well,
so does he leads me to believe he didn't answer to anybody.
no, he doesn't.
So I don't know how you can have a program when you're not really clear who's actually in charge.
Well, I mean,
what's the well for?
The divvying of responsibilities. Like, I completely understand, like, Quinn, if he told Cliff, like, hey, this is your offense, dude. Cook, do whatever. This is your your baby.
He didn't tell Joe Witt, this is your defense, go cook.
Well, and that's the thing. Maybe he did, but I don't know. And at the same time, Dan's
confident right now.
I mean, Dan's background is defensive, so that's why I would understand Dan having a little bit more of his fingerprints all over the defense. Offensively, I mean, you have to be incredibly well versed as a coach, but that's kind of been Dan Quinn's thing the entire time. Like when he went to that Super Bowl where they blew it to the Patriots, that was Kyle Shanahan, man. Like he's always had a coordinator on the offensive side of the ball that will help generate that success.
So you're saying that he didn't learn from his past errors? Are you telling me that he created the same mistake twice?
No, not
that's
yet.
What I hear. What I hear.
I think we're going down that.
You either are in charge or you're not.
Yeah.
You either got the final say or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all confuse the hell out of me because I'm trying to figure out which is it. Because if you have a shared belief that the way we win is a collaborative effort, I don't see that. I don't sense that.
Yeah.
I hear people beating around the bushes all day long. And no one seems to answer the question. Is that who is in charge? Who has the final say?
It's a good question to ask.
And are you going to take this same atmosphere into a new calendar year and then expect different results? Because if you are,
and
I think y'all are insane.
We're gonna learn a lot this offseason. That's for damn sure. Because
you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn.
Well, I mean, I was underwhelmed this past offseason, and now look where it got us. So I mean, we're gonna. Yeah. I mean, I'm a notorious Kool-Aid drinker, so I'll probably be right back to where I was the beginning of last season. But
nothing wrong with that.
That's
There's
just
nothing wrong with
that's
that.
what happens when you go 7 months without football, man. You start thinking about what could happen.
You can't. If the game is in 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be King Kong making defensive decisions and then Mighty Mouse on offensive decisions. Your special teams, thank God, are spoken for, and that's the best unit on the team.
Shout out, Larry.
Now, that's what my eyes tell me. Now, what does it tell you? That's what I want to hear. Coaches doing what coaches do. They take quality time off, and hopefully his flight is successful. I heard he's going. Where's he going? To New Zealand?
Something like that. I think he's doing a Lord of the Rings type trip.
Yeah. Well, you know what? God bless him.
Of course.
We love him. We want him to travel, do everything he wants to do. We'll hold down the fort here. 301-230-0980 is the number. DOC and for the coach, Mad Max, you're under pressure, dog. We'll be right back. Coach is out, but then again, if you've been listening over the years, you know all the holidays and things of that nature that he's usually out of the country, and it gives us a chance to come in and mix things up and have some fun with it. And who doesn't want to be in a position to take advantage of this audience that we have today? It's a giving audience because they're out looking and scrambling for things so that they can bring a smile on someone's face. That's what gift giving is truly all about. I mean, who actually needs something that they're going to receive? It's more want than need in most cases or some cases, but it's the thrill of giving. And we mentioned the lights. We opened it up. We were trying to get MAX to give us his favorite Christmas carol, which we will invite you to as well at 301-230-0980. Take some time to share that moment and that special moment and how old you were at the time of that. Because that really, I think, reflects what the next 24 hours plus is all about. And then, oh, I forgot. There's a football game on Christmas Day.
The NFL doesn't play on Christmas, Doc. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I know. So does the NBA. But the NFL has made this move. And when this was dropped, just go back and remember. Go back and remember how happy you were. I assume you were. When the schedule came out and you knew it would be Commanders and Boys on Christmas. You remember?
I was well, because like that's the thing. We work in this business, so it's like when I see that we're playing on Christmas, the big question was,
I know.
Am I gonna have to work? Am I gonna have to work?
I know. But other than that, so in other words, none of this quote. I was on with BTP and Ant-Man yesterday, Burgundy and Gold today, and BTP was doing a good job of trying to ask the question, or maybe he was stroking a fire about. Remember, you used to call this Dallas Week.
I do remember a time where that was the case, but it seems so long ago, Doc. So long ago. Oh man, it's
Well, I spent, as you know, a few years involved in this, and so my input may be tainted a bit because I've maybe been too involved. But when BTP brought this up, it's amazing. I thought at one point in my life, I remember when I first got here and Brig Owens and was the captain. Brig was such a dynamic individual. I've been following him because he's from my hometown. So in the 72 Super Bowl, when they played the Dolphins, that was real. The team stayed in my hometown. They stayed at the Saddleback Inn in Santa Ana, California. And so it was real personal. I mean, so that Burgundy and Gold thing meant a lot. And then Brig and Charlie and all the guys that were here, they did a great job of letting all the young people know, hey, there's nothing normal about this week. George Allen did an absolute great job in making sure it was clear that this is not like any other game. Now, for those of you that are listening that have actually been competitive in athletics, that have had a rival, then you know what it means. Not everybody gets that. It's a privilege.
It's true.
To be in a rivalry. That means
it's a privilege to hate.
Well, because neither one of you can suck.
Yeah.
For it to be generated. At some point, you have to have been fighting for the flag to be able to plant the flag.
It's true.
So there was an amount. Now, the Dallas-Washington deal, to ask the question, you better hope it's not done. You better hope you're lucky enough to maintain something that is so important that separates you from any other professional franchise on the planet. And if you let that die on your clock, shame on you. because the people that have supported this has meant so much to so many people. There's no such thing as a meaningless matchup against Dallas. Now, I know it's not popular for some of you. That's okay. That's okay. There are a lot of things we've disagreed about that eventually you came to understand that I was right. I don't blame you for what you don't know. I blame you that once you find out and you continue to act like you don't know, then that's on you. You better hope this always means something. You got to have something. Now, Philly, we hate them all. Philly and New York, but for different reasons.
And it's the thing about that too, it's cyclical in terms of my hatred. You know what I mean? Because back when I was younger, it was like, yeah, Dallas all the time, every day. I hate them. But over the years, it's become less and less serious as I've taken the team less and less serious, just because they have Jerry Jones still running the ship. And I finally got Brian to admit it that they'll probably not win anything as long as he's still in control of everything.
Agreed.
So that was nice. But
that Brian you're mentioning, that is Mr. Mitchell.
No. Brian West, our video producer. Who is a staunch
Cowboy
supporter. Yes, okay. Cowboy B.
Yeah. Cowboy B does a great segment on the Chris Russell Show, Cock-a-doodle-doo. I encourage you to tune in because think about it. In this market, it's the only segment that I've ever heard of to where they're actually promoting a Dallas entrance.
Yeah. We're letting them in. Chris Russell's letting him invade our airwaves. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, no. Chris is New Yorker. So
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, well, but he's honest about it. That's why I respect the hell out of him.
He is, but when you call him out on it, he gets a little cagey.
Well, that's just a defense
he's nervous.
Mechanism.
That's just how he is.
He's not nervous. He's an icon.
When you bring up his Giants, he gets a little. He knows there's a conflict of interest.
I respect that. If you were working in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, would you be talking Commanders trash?
Yes.
Could you hold up? Could you plant the flag?
Yeah.
Burgundy and gold in Fort Worth, Texas.
I would, because I'm hard-headed and people would hate me. But
okay.
I'd still do it until my bosses told me not to, which would probably be pretty quick.
I don't think you have to be a fan of the team you cover. That's why they call you a professional.
I think it helps, but I do understand it.
But most of the time that he's been on the beat, they've been awful. So what does it mean?
Fair enough. It does become I don't want to say a chore, but a job. It is a job at the end of the day. So.
But this game, again, we'll find out. To be swept by them, it's just no honor in it.
None whatsoever.
There's just no honor.
It's going out sad.
I just
in an already sad season.
The good teams, you play them 3 times. That's when it's really, you're doing it the right way when we meet 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm. Bring it back.
I love the HBO deal now with the NFC East. I've not missed an episode.
Are we getting another one tonight? Wait. What today is today? Yeah, I was gonna say it's Wednesday, so it was last night. I missed it.
Last night. Well, it's there.
All right.
You can see. Oh no, and it is.
I got plenty to watch over this.
It takes
holiday
you
break.
inside the East, and I've said this long because it's the only. If you look at the 4 teams, all have Lombardis.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Philadelphia pulled up the bottom.
Wow.
And they're doing it with great fashion, and they might stack them.
God, I hope
they may or may not, but at least it won't be because they're a talent with them. Not a lack of talent. Now, can that talent function? Good luck. We'll see. We'll see. One of the guys that I've battled with on air for years is the one and only Scott Jackson. And he covers the team like everybody here covers the team with different perspective, but they understand it, they get it as to what it means. He's going to share some of those things with us in the 12 o'clock hour. Don't take it for granted. The man's sought after all over the country. when it's Dallas week. People are sought after, because everybody's kind of curious about their story. G from the shop. You think he didn't have a story?
G's got millions of stories. That much I know.
But no, Dallas week.
And I know he's got millions of Dallas week
when
stories
someone
too.
says that, oh, it's no big thing.
Nah.
Yeah, really? Okay.
It's no big thing right now, but
who allows you to enjoy the heat that they provide for the home that you're lying in? And you better hope that it doesn't go. Cowboy B, I mean, hey man, I ain't mad at him.
He was born into it. It's not
There's
like
nothing
he was
wrong with it.
It's not like he switched sides or anything, which I do respect.
I respect the show because it's an international show. Because they're all from somewhere else. And we show our high IQ that we embrace it with open arms. Open arms. I think that says a lot about our sports IQ. The fact that people that listen to the station can have an open mind.
Got to appreciate the rivalry.
Well, this is called freedom, right?
That's right.
Freedom of speech. Yeah.
Sure.
So you can have an open mind. And I think I don't think it's a bad thing, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's a bad thing. I kind of enjoy it. Now, the question is, who thinks we're going to win the game? That's a whole different set of
whole different can of worms.
Yeah. That's going to be, now, if you ask me if that's important, I think it is. What do you think?
It is important.
Oh, you don't? Have they got to you?
No.
Oh, man.
No. No one's got to me.
That's okay. It's okay. If they got to you, it's okay.
No one's got to me.
You're under a lot of pressure, man.
But man,
you're under a lot of pressure.
It just takes a lot out of you when these two teams are out of it, man. It's just it does lose a little bit of luster, especially on Christmas when you've got Josh Johnson when you don't know who's going to start between Josh Johnson or Jeff Driscoll versus this defense being so bad going up against a prolific offense that kind of crapped the bed down the stretch, but that was more on their defense than anything. So I don't know, man. I'll watch tomorrow. I will be tuned in, but I won't be. I probably won't be enjoying myself more than anything. It'll be more of an assignment that I'll be doing.
You sound worried.
No, you can't be worried when you've detached your feelings.
So basically, you're out, is what you're saying.
I'm not. All right. So growing up I'm going to explain this. Growing up,
please,
25 years with this team, I have trained myself to disengage when it appears that all is for naught. So basically, like I think it really was the Seattle game, because that was kind of like the last glimmer of hope, and then it was such an ass kicking, and then Jaden gets hurt at the end, and it's like, okay, the season from hell continues to be season from hell. And it has these past 6 weeks since then. So like I said, growing up with this team, I've trained myself to just kind of, it is what it is. We're on to the next season. That's kind of just how I've had to operate these past 25 years. And it's hard to get out of that mode. So that's why I start looking ahead at mid-season. And when you got the 7th overall pick, you start paying a little bit more attention to college football down the stretch. And that's really when it gets fun.
I can understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand where you're coming from in terms of it makes it easier for you.
Way easier.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's hard, man. Heartbreak as a DC sports fan, it was a long, long time till I got to taste victory in 2018 when my hockey team won it. And thank God I grew up a hockey fan. If I grew up like a Wizards fan over hockey, I think I'd be a much different and much more negative person if that was the case.
Okay. All right. Well, I can buy into that. I don't know where the public will stand from it, but why don't we check it out?
I think they might agree with me, but we'll see.
Right.
Call in 301-230-0980.
Peace.
All right, here is what's happening, everybody. We start off with a Merry Christmas Eve to all. We'll hit a recap of last night's games. The Wizards, they fall yet again, this time to the Charlotte Hornets. The Wizards off to a hot start, but entering halftime with a 65-62 lead, but unable to find ways to close out games. Still, Hornets get the win 126-109. And the Caps, they fall in a bout with the New York Rangers. Quite a performance from former Capital Taylor Radish as he notched a couple goals of his own. The good guys kept it tight till the third period, entering the final frame with a 3-2 lead, but a 5-goal flurry in the third period lifts the Rangers over the Caps by a score of 7-4. Caps are off for NHL's Christmas break. They will return Saturday in a contest with the New Jersey Devils. This update is sponsored by the Team 980 YouTube page. Just open the app, type the Team 980, hit subscribe. Kevin Sheehan is live every day from 10 to 1. You can catch programs like Take Command and Denton's Office throughout all of football season. Don't forget to hit the like button whenever you do decide to join us and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all things DC sports. And that is what's trending.
LG from the shop. What a ride. Welcome back, DOC. In for the coach. I don't know if the coach took the cruise liner. I don't know if he's on a boat, plane, or who knows, for whatever that matters. But he's in a good place. And he left us in a good place because it's the holidays. It's a great spirit. He knows how I feel about it. And Max, you're so young, man, that it's just, and that's a beautiful thing because a lot of this you miss, and that's okay. We've got a man on the line that hadn't missed much, and I know he's thrilled. I knew we'd hear from him today since it was announced earlier that Kansas City is getting a new stadium built. So we welcome our local chief, JYD. What's up? Happy holidays.
Hey, how you doing? Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas to you, Doc.
Thank you.
This is the way I look at it. You know, it's three things that touch me. Of course, naturally, it sort of hurts that, you know, that the Arrowhead is going to eventually come to an end or whatever. And of course, they're going to build a new stadium, and you know, and of course, naturally, I'm sure it's going to be magnificent or whatever. But you know, I think that goes to show you how two teams that they have, of course, the Redskins had the Redskin name, and now the Chiefs still have their name, but we're mirrored so much this way this season simply because, you know, we lost our main quarterbacks or whatever, and two teams didn't measure up to what we should have or whatever. But you know, those things happen. But then I listened to you this morning. You was talking about who's in charge, and the games that I watched, you know, with the Commanders, and I was always, you know, when the camera would be on Dan Quinn, you know, it didn't seem like to me that he was checked in too much, you know, on the sidelines, you know. I mean, he had the earphone things in his ear and all like that, but it didn't seem like he was communicating that much to anybody, or whatever. And you know, so you know that's what I noticed. Or well, the most I've seen him be on talking in the phone now is since he took over the defense or whatever. And now, of course, you know, and then another thing I wanted to say, you said about the games, all that, you know, through the years, George Allen checking up in the light bulbs for listening devices and all like that, bringing in Dwayne Thomas, who had played with the Cowboys, trying to crack his code to see if he had anything left or whatever. Calvin Hill, whatever, you know, even though he was washed up, brought him in, you know, so all that, you know, helped to, you know, fuel the rivalry or whatever. And then, of course, Darron Talbot or whatever, you know, he was a Texas guy or whatever, you know, and he talked trash or what, but he backed it up on the football field or whatever, you know. And then you had, you know, it's just a whole lot of things that bring back a whole lot of, you know, long-term.
Yeah, well, we got history. Now, of course,
I think we all know that.
We got a lot of history. JYD with Slam, man, I appreciate you. Happy holidays. Appreciate you. Derek, up in Capitol Heights.
Good morning, Doc. Burgundy and gold till I'm old and cold. Happy
Absolutely,
holidays.
Man. Appreciate you.
Doc, I have a question for you, two-part question. The easy thing to say is that our season derailed because of injuries. Would you say it's something more than that? And also, do you think that Dan Quinn is to guide to lead us through Operation Return to Glory?
Well, I think everything should be evaluated because we're half done. I don't know how anybody can be all in to say they're terrible or they're fantastic because they've shown you both extremes. What do you trust? I don't believe that they play complementary football. Well, who's in charge of that? That person needs to be questioned, in my opinion. The question that I would have for everybody if the ownership is listening, is that what's going to prevent this from happening again next year? Are you could say, well, we're 50-50. Maybe it'll be good again. Maybe it won't. Do you really want to play on those odds? Because you got to bet on this. You're betting with the future of your franchise. I don't buy this somebody not being ready that's been with you all season. You're not tackling well at all. It's not, you can't come off and say, well, it's the beginning of the preseason. We didn't, no. We're too deep into this. Someone's got to assume some responsibility for failure. You can't just say we didn't get. The one thing that I would never accept, the third team quarterback didn't get enough reps. Well, whose fault is that? It's not like you got a part-time job. You're there all day if you want to be. I saw a man that assigned an assistant coach, Jerry Rome, with his backup quarterbacks, and they worked together every day, all day. Joe Jackson Gibbs did that. Am I the only person that saw it? You don't get an excuse for not having someone developed. That's why Trent Green, these guys went on to other places and went to the Pro Bowl, because he didn't not nurture his quarterbacks. He kept them constantly in development training because he knew eventually you might have to use them. Are you kidding me? And we're acting like none of this happened? Well, you can go on with it. Continue it. I don't. I saw it. I was there. Can be done. You didn't do it, but it can be done. That's all I'm saying. And if you want to stick with that, fine, stick with it. It's not my job to do that. I evaluate what I see. You have all the resources in the world. Why aren't you playing people? Why aren't they ready to play on game day? Who is responsible for it? Maybe the other team just better. I can live with that. If that's what we come up with, then we just don't have enough good people. All right, good. Well, then who's picking them? So what are we going to do to change that? BTP already explained to you, as a listening public, that we regained scouts and people that we had under the Rivera era. Why on earth would you do that or allow that to happen? Well, you can say, well, maybe they brought him in and he didn't select him. You might be right on that. I can't prove that. Maybe they told him what to do and them nitwits decided not to. That could be true. I'm concerned of why y'all don't think like this as well. Y'all been drinking, what you drinking, the Kool-Aid? Have you been poisoned? This is not that complicated. Don't take the okie doke. Don't fall for it. You're too good for that. 10:56 here in the nation's capital. Moving up to the 11 o'clock hour. And, man, give Max a fun bunch high five, man. I mean, he's throwing down. Put in a position. You never know you're ready till what? Till you're ready. Till you get a chance. And it's winner take all. We don't hit a buzzer and say, okay, that was just play. That was just make-believe. All bet. No. This is live. And that's the game we're playing. It's Dallas week. Whether you like it or not, it's Dallas week. We'll be back. Dallas week, I think of old number 72, prize bull, Dexter Manley. He understood it. It meant more to him than most. He was defending the home turf. And he didn't talk about it. He performed at the highest level in it. Worrell Grant, the cover of Sports Illustrated, in the game that is one of the pure highlights for all fans that bleed burgundy and gold. If you think of your top 5 moments in burgundy and gold history, there are a few marks that are higher than the marks that were achieved within this rivalry. The fans, that's what it's all about. You don't have the Cowboy Clays, the Derek Davises, the worst guys of the world that have been entrenched in Cowboy lure. Clarence is a dear friend of mine, and I personally watched him contaminate his children and deny them the access of being pure with burgundy and gold. I couldn't overrule it because they're his children, not mine. But I witnessed this up close and personal. That's his right to do, as many of you probably have done. And then we all know, if I ask you right now to give me your top 2 moments within this rivalry, I guarantee you 8 to the 9 will be one of them. Darren Talbert will be involved in one of those. El Rigo will be mentioned in one of those. Mr. D, Dexter Manley, will be mentioned in one of those. It can go on. Roy Jefferson, it can go on and on. Nick Giaquinto, on and on and on. Otis Wansley, on and on and on. Pete Wysocki, Dallas Hickman, guys covering kicks, man, guys blocking kicks. Mark Moses. It's just, I mean, when do you stop? You don't. You don't. And that's the beauty of it. Now, what will come out of this one? I don't know. We know what came out of the last time they were here. A kick return against the Wild Bunch that defined and snatched victory from the good guys. A return. Our punter is going to the Pro Bowl. That's like old times. Because our special teams units represented full-time being ranked the most among the best in the world. Because special teams meant something here. It was what we teach. It was taught. It was followed. It was an honor to be a part of those units. And that's what you have to capture. If you're really serious about this, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But it's going to be different. And if you're in that arena, or as you guys call it, the stadium, then you'll get what I mean by it. It's not supposed to feel like anything you've experienced. That's the beauty of it. I don't expect it to be overtaken by the enemy. Max, I think you might be too young to even comment on it.
A little.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thanksgiving game back in I think it was 2012. That was kind of the big sticking one for me, just because that was I was at the perfect age for it, and it was the RG3 season. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just not a lot of great moments in the past, at least in past 15, 20 years, that's for sure. So it's
How many Cowboy fans are in your inner circle? Of your friends that you consider closest?
Very
it's
few.
Okay to have them.
Yeah, very few. Couple here and there, but not a ton. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Okay. Any characteristics you like to share about them? I mean, we're talking about a group
pretty typical
that hasn't done anything close to 30 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's not
I
act
remind them
like
every chance I get.
they're not the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
they think they are.
Exactly.
But they aren't.
Listen, all I say is Jerry Jones' name, and then they get quiet real quick.
You know how you can find out if your Cowboy friends have a high IQ? You judge them by if they bought into Jerry or not.
Suppose that's fair.
Because the ones that I have in my life, they can't stand him.
That's how you know they know.
Yeah, that's how I know they know.
I will give Jerry some credit, though. Quinnen Williams, though he was expensive, and George Pickens have been pretty good for them. So I have to give credit where it's due, but the rest of it, not great.
And why would you give that to Jerry? Because he okayed what their football
exactly,
people?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say,
he
I
signed
hope
the
you
check.
weren't intimating that Jerry had anything to do with the scouting or the selection of these players.
No, Jerry ain't watching any of that. No, okay. I know that.
I'm just checking. Okay. Well, it's going to be fine. Now, I know you laid some skin on one direction, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. Because whatever direction you went, it doesn't mean you have a low football IQ. It just means you're trying to make money.
Yeah, it means you're looking for value.
Exactly. I can't blame a man for that. Not when he puts his own coin up.
Exactly.
If you put somebody else's, that's different.
Yeah.
But when you invest your own coin, then you have the right to take that down any street you choose.
It's true.
And, their quarterback makes $60 million a year.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. And the quarterback that you represent under center is on food stamps.
Essentially.
Well, basically.
In NFL terms.
NFL terms of food stamps. And so why should anyone that has no vested interest in this just strictly looking at X's and O's, why should you be given a chance?
I can't. That's the thing. I don't have an answer. I really don't.
Because you can't put the rivalry up as an asset.
You can't.
You can't.
Especially when
because you've waffled too much. Too much about, it's just another game. Well, see, if you would have followed the script, then you'd be in a better position to compete and win the game.
Yeah.
Because the people that put that uniform on to go out there know that they cannot lose and come back in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the difference. Now you got people that just simply going in there because it's another game. It's another game. Oh, really? Okay. It's another game. I hope you don't believe that. But if you do, then I'll pray for you tonight. That's all I can do is pray for you. Because I promise you that the Cowboys are coming here with one thing in mind. Sweep. So they can say all offseason, we swept you. You could not beat us once. That's unsettling for me. Now, for you, maybe you can stomach it. Maybe you can take it out. Then I wonder, what that means. I'm not questioning G from the shop. I know exactly where him and this crew is. I know the K9 community is at front and deck. They're ready to go. The 1 o'clock kickoff. 1 o'clock kickoff. The representation of burgundy and gold. If we were to wager on that, my good friend, what would we wager on in terms of who wins the crowd?
Ooh. It's Christmas. Those tickets are cheap right now. I could definitely see Cowboys fans wanting to make some noise on Christmas, but I don't I'm not sure. I think it'll probably be 60-40. That's kind of where my guess
What was
is
the
going to be.
Eagles? What was the Eagles ratio? In your mind?
I don't know. I think it was 60-40 in favor of Eagles fans. That's probably what it was.
So you're anticipating a hostile takeover?
Yeah. I mean, it could go both. It could go either way. I'm gonna be real with you because it just comes down to the final few percentage points. But yeah, I'll predict a Cowboys takeover. Why not?
Okay.
They like it. They like being in this area. They like raising a little hell in somebody else's hometown. So there are a lot of them around here.
Yeah, that you've been on point with, and I'm not mad at them at all. It's been the past 30 years have been really tough.
Yeah, tell me.
No, really, think about it. It's like 30 years they've been denied the prom date. That they've gone home empty.
For sure.
That they've been a failure to the legion that respects the heck out of them 24/7. Imagine how you feel if you're unworthy of love. People trying to give you something that you don't feel worthy of. No matter how much money they make, they still got to be a little bit embarrassed. When they go back to their alumni greetings, they're the only group in there ringless. They're the only group in there without playoff wins. Because once upon a time, they were king of the hill. They've been there. They've been on that mountaintop. But if I said to you statistically, you've been a flat out zero for close to 30 years, what's your response? And how should I value your response? Or should I? That's the point I don't get. That's the point I don't get, my brother. It's but thank goodness. Can you imagine what if the games weren't played? What if we had to go into the offseason with the unknown? But we don't. We get to have it settled. And I'm getting a sense right now that if you don't put coin on it, that you are waffling a little bit. Are you saying that our guys won't be prepared? They're not going to fight? Can you say that out loud? What do you think Luvu's position is going to be on this?
Sack the quarterback. That's pretty much it.
What kind of effort will we get out of our D-line?
I hope a good one, man. They're going to be putting tape and getting paid to be out there, so they might as well show up. The question is, will they? And that's been the question all year, and that's kind of the whole problem. Is that I have to ask the question.
No, it's interesting. I mean, we let the people talk because that's important to get the response on it. And I got to be honest with you, man. X is not looking great. I'm a little. I'm hoping that I'm just having technical issues and that it can't get through because it's not what I've been used to. I'll say that it is. And it feels kind of like it ought to be the last game of the year. You get that feeling?
A little bit, given that it's on Christmas and all that, but
yeah, kind of feels like it should be the ender. This ends it, but it's not. It's not.
Look at that, one more week.
Boy, thank goodness that they pay you for it because
right.
Yeah, these next two, and when the schedule came out, I was thrilled. I think the league did a really good thing by ending these rivalries with people that you're familiar with. That the travel is not crazy for most cases, with the exception of Dallas. But the way these all end up, I kind of like it. I really do. I think it's smart. If somebody deserves credit for it, I don't know who it would be, but I do think that it's good. Yeah. So I'll put it to rest, that way because I don't know how any other way to do it. It's 11-17 here in the nation's capital. Believe it or not, it is Dallas week. And we're trying to get confirmation on it as to where you stand with it. And I know the holidays has softened us to a degree, and why wouldn't it? When you hear some of the Christmas tunes that are being played, it's enough to really make you smile, and that's a good thing here as we celebrate. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment. Coach Sheehan, relaxing. Probably somewhere in the I don't know what ocean it would be at this point, but wherever that he's covered by water, but he's comfortable, and that's a good thing. Question is, the Commanders play the Dallas Cowboys. We used to call this Dallas Week. There's been in question here recently as to what the meaning of that old term, Dallas Week. It's been questioned, or is in question, with this new group of commanders, fan base, not the players. I think the players are giving you all they have. The question is, should they have more? And are they holding talent hostage? We have questions about who plays and when they play. And to me, that's weird. John, out in Falls Church, happy holidays.
Hey, Doc. Happy Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, too. So first thing, I was just chuckling about you saying that the season kind of feels like it should be over after this game. I mean, as a UCLA guy, I feel like my daughter's learned to read since our season was over, effectively. So it was like summertime when the Bruins kind of showed they weren't going anywhere. But
Yep.
my main point was, can you imagine if last year hadn't happened, how improbable the stadium getting approved would be at this point? That little window opened right up, and they shoved that stadium through and got it done in just the window. Going to that same, the enthusiasm for the Commanders would be like all-time low if last year hadn't happened.
Can't say you're wrong, but I think you have to look beyond where your team is currently when you start talking about projects of this magnitude. But
sure,
maybe it would have cost you a year or so. You're
harder.
right. I can't argue that. But in the end, seldom does a new project fail to enhance its community and surrounding communities if you can keep an eye on control where the cash goes.
Yeah, it still has to have a positive, feeling behind it for the brand to be, the town to be excited about the brand. And if last year didn't happen, I think it would be a lot tougher.
Oh, I can't argue that. Can't argue that at all. But it's still, money usually wins in the end. Because the deep pockets, the small amount of people that control most of this, whether we like to admit it or not, is real. It's real.
Yep. Well, have a good one, Doc.
All right, you have even a better one. Rob, out in the District of Columbia. Welcome home.
Doc, my brother. So every game, division game matters. We know that. You know that. This one right here, this is the one. We don't like them. They don't like us. As a fan base, man, you got to get your mind right. Me and you went back and forth a few years ago. It was like 3 years ago. And the Eagle fans, he was like, they taking buses. They coming down. And I said, Doc, I ain't buying no tickets. As long as Snyder owns the team, you said he ain't selling the team. I said, if he sold the team, I'll buy season tickets. He sold the team, and I was a man of my word. I got tickets at section 118, the away side. I'm going to meet him at the gate because it's a fight. That's how I feel. Yeah. And this week is how I feel. I don't like them. I like nothing about them. I don't like their fans. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you the only thing I like about them is Jerry Jones. I love Jerry Jones. He hates them
How can you
as
not?
much as I hate him. Yeah, he hates them just like I hate him. So, and for our team, they ballers. Those guys, these guys are trying to feed their families. The dudes you're going to see play tomorrow, they don't care nothing about, what the fans say this now. These dudes going to go out there, they're going to be hungry, and they're going to want to get this win because that's what they got to do. They got a sense of pride. Yeah. Everybody like, we don't need to. Man, anybody worry about no draft pick. The game is played tomorrow. What you going to do and show up today? What you going to do for me today? It's a what you going to do for me today league. And that's how you build culture and character. You're going to be a loser or a winner. There's no in between. You can't kind of be a winner. You're going to be a loser or you're going to be a winner. And tomorrow, hopefully, y'all guys are winners. And they put their foot up their butt. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to this thing. I need to win. A blowout. So my Christmas could be good. I need a blowout. 60-0. Then I hate them.
Man, that is so music. That's music to my ears, my brother. You know how I feel about it.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. It's man, that's exciting. Max, I don't know about you, but Rob just lit my fire even brighter. Because I know there are people out there like that. Unfortunately, we can't put him in a uniform. You know.
No, we can't. Listen, if we had some tryouts, maybe that would help some things. But 60-0, that's a lofty goal. I just gotta call it like I see it. I just gotta be realistic about it, and that's just kind of how I am. I can't continue to fool myself after what's been going on these past weeks or months at this point.
Yeah, well. Brother, I think all that changes at game time. I was just reflecting on a year ago.
It's true.
At the game when I was there doing it was an event. And so I hadn't actually seen the guys in pregame. I was inside the corridor of the stadium over by the Legends area. And there was an event, and I go, let me just take a look at, I love to see, I used to being on that carpet, seeing pregame and seeing guys come out and stretch, warm up. And that's when I saw them in the white jerseys. And it shocked me. I said, what? Why would you let them wear white? Only because, for those of you that don't know, they hate the blue. And that's why we always put them in blue. Because we were in white. And I had a bad feeling. But we had such a good team. I was like, won't matter. And then we go down to that kick. And then return, and then obviously that was the worst. We didn't have a lot of losses, but that was the worst one. That was the first indication that something's up. But I just brushed it off, as most of us did. As good as you were, job number one is to eliminate these clowns as soon as possible. But we moved on, and they had a hell of a year. What a year. What a year. They checked so many boxes. But now we're here. What are we going to do about it? That's the key.
We're going to look ahead. We're going to look into April and March.
Well, we say that. Now, I hope you're right. But they're not going to give it away.
Well, of course.
One thing about Hard Knocks, you didn't see Hard Knocks yet.
I'm not.
Then you didn't see it yet. Oh, man.
I haven't seen last night's episode. I've seen every episode.
You haven't seen last night, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only one I've ever cared about. I like it because it's got our division in it. And it's just magnificently. It's magnificent the way it's done. But boy, it matters. And hopefully we'll put ourselves in a position to get it done. We've had a couple people ejected. I'd like to get your thoughts on that at some point in this too.
Proud of my boys.
When you determine to take a guy out for not one game, but 2 games.
Well, if he hits a fan, yeah, that might be a little bit of a different story, but we can get into that.
Not hitting the fan, no matter what the fan says or does.
Yeah, and especially when that fan was on video, on multiple videos, just calling DK by his full name, and DK walked up to him, grabbed him by his wig, and tried to punch him in the face. That was I think a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But do you think he's going to get, do you think 2 is going to be he's going to get his full suspension? Because I know he's appealing it, so he can try and come back in that Week 18 matchup.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you think they're going to uphold the 2?
Yeah, I do.
He's got to
Yeah,
sit
man,
one at least. But
yeah, and I've heard too. I mean, it's what are rules if you don't enforce them?
right, and you can't have players continuing to cross the barrier. You know what I mean? Same way that fans can't cross the barrier. It's just
Yeah, that's my point. I
oil
mean,
and water.
we
It's a
have
bad
to,
idea.
yeah, we have to have, we got to have rules. And the question is, what's the penalty if you don't uphold them? Somebody can get brutally injured, and you just have to have it. Now it's going to be interesting. Pay attention to a lot of this. 11:35 here in the nation's capital. Coach Sheehan hopefully is on a yacht somewhere, and I hope the seas are mild for him because I do think he has suffers from a little nausea every once in a while when he's out on the open water. But we wish him nothing but the best. And we've got a dilemma or a decision to make. Dallas week, you in or not? We'll be right back.
All right. Merry Christmas Eve to all. We start off with a recap of last night's games. The Wizards, they fall yet again, this time to the Charlotte Hornets. The Wiz got off to a hot start, entered halftime with the 65-62 lead, but unable to find ways to close out games. Hornets get the win 126-109. The Caps, they fall in a bout with the New York Rangers. Quite the performance from former Capital Taylor Radish. He notched 2 goals of his own. The good guys kept it tight until the third period, entering the final frame with a 3-2 lead, but a 5-goal flurry in the third period lifts the Rangers over the Caps by a score of 7-4. The Caps are off for NHL's Christmas break and will return on Saturday in a contest with the New Jersey Devils. This update is sponsored by the Team 980 YouTube page. Just open the app, type in the Team 980, hit subscribe. Kevin Sheehan is live every day from 10 to 1. You can catch programs like Take Command at Denton's office throughout all of football season. Don't forget to hit the like button whenever you do decide to join us and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all things DC sports. And that is what's trending.
They say you live long enough, you'll encounter almost everything. Dallas week, never thought it'd be in question. Never thought I'd have to explain what it means and have to hear from people saying that it's insignificant. But again, that's the way the clock turns, and then until it doesn't. And G from the shop graces us with his appearance. What say you, soldier?
Oh, I just called to say hello, man. I've been in basketball season for about a month and a half, Doc.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's not my first rodeo.
Nah, but at the same time, shout out to substance abuse, because you just had a caller call in and say 60 to nothing. I'm glad I'm not the only one indulging in substance abuse. Hey, Doc, you got my man Jack coming on the show.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We got we had to clear the FCC. We had to make some clearances, but I think we're going to get it done.
The head button armed forces,
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody can beat him. Nobody can beat him in a head button contest, man. That's my man. Hey, long time caller, long time listener, Doc. Hey, Doc, I'll be calling in Jack's show, man. He's the Prince of 757.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we know he's kind of a big thing. He's kind of a big thing. But he sent out a message to you about Marv Maravich.
About
and I
Maravich?
guess that's what he said. But we'll see.
Oh,
I mean, he will be.
What? Now, you must be talking about Marinovich, because he been going on. Hey, Doc, he been giving me the business, man, talking about, man, whose dad just keeps yelling at the games. And that would be Lil G's father. Lil G's father, do not shut up at the games, because, hey, Doc, you was taught like I was. You can't be quiet in the gym.
Well, no, not a gym. A gym, it's not an arena.
Man, you gonna hear me in the arena, and we talking about Cowboys. If Lil G do get drafted to the NFL and end up playing with the Cowboys, oh yeah, we showing up every day in burgundy and gold. I will never wear his jersey.
G, good hearing from you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, Doc,
Happy holidays. Yes, sir. Yeah, G, hit me back, man, through the communications outlet, and we'll get it done. Shout out to Big Tony. Happy holidays, and it looks like the Steelers will keep their tradition going. Well, you can't be mad at that. I'm not. I mean, it's about winning, and they have done that. They've been able to pull it off. Jay out in Rockville, what's on your mind?
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good. We're hanging in there, bro.
Doing good. Good. I was every once or twice a week I go downtown and hand out sandwiches with my family, and I met this right around Union Station. I met this gentleman. I've seen him before, and we were just talking, and he goes, "What's going on?" I said, "Nothing. We got the big game on tomorrow." And he goes, "Who the Redskins playing?" I said, "Well, they're playing Dallas." He goes, "Nothing would make me happier in life, and I need a lot in life to bring this town together than the DC win." I'm like, "Totally, yeah." He goes, "Hail to the Skins." And then he goes, "Have a good afternoon." I thought,
wow.
So we got to. It'd be great for the town to get a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that, and it goes down throughout history. Younger people, like our very talented producer / auctioneer, his life is like a lot of young people at our station. They reference 2012, and that's that pivotal season for them. It has a huge impact. All of them under 30, I've heard it from every single one of them, is the impact of that. For a lot of us, it's 1972, 82, 91. There's certain years what we tend to forget sometimes is what happens in between all of those. Well, we're caught in one of those tweeners now. And it may not have major significance, but there's a thing called bragging rights. And that's what it really and truly, truly means. Lap in the District of Columbia.
What's up, Doc? DOC, man. Hope you doing well. Hope you have a good holiday, man. I want to beat the Cowboys, man. I mean, that would make me more happy to beat them. I know it does affect the draft stock. If we lose, it's a win-win for us. But I definitely want to beat them, man. So, we got to get the Cowboys, man. And they suck too, so it really shouldn't matter too much, Doc. We both were sitting home for the playoffs, so it don't matter. So, why not get a win, man? Because they embarrassed us last time. So I'm on some get back for sure.
Part of me, the sick part, was hoping they still had playoff hopes alive. I wanted to have that honor.
I know. I got you. I was thinking that too a couple of weeks ago. Definitely.
Yeah. That was what I was targeting about that.
Well, I mean, technically, we did eliminate the Cowboys. We did have a part in it
by losing.
Oh, because we lost. We lost. Yeah.
So there's that.
Some people say you're smart behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard that all my life.
Yeah, and you're earning it too.
Out their last two games too. Yeah, they got blown out their last two games too. So yeah, it worked out.
But when you see them on Hard Knocks,
it would have been nice.
When you see the episode, you'll get what I mean. They played that thing up to the point. Yeah, it's really they're acting in this whole thing. They're acting.
I mean, they know the cameras are on them. You know what I mean? It's not
cameras are always on.
It's not secret.
But this is different.
When you see the crews going around, you know the cameras are on. You know that something's going to get put in there, and if something bad happens to you, you're going to be featured. So that's why I felt so bad for Zach Ertz, man, because they were setting it up like right before his injury. It's like watching a dead man march or a dead man walking. It's like, come on, but did hurt to see.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, he went out like an absolute warrior.
That he did.
Yeah, it's one of them things that I get. I did check in and shout out to Brother Charles Mann, one of my all-time favorites, one of the best ever at his craft, and we will not have his services today, but Lamont Jordan will join us, give us his sentiments. It's interesting when you grow up around here and you're as big a star as he is and was and went through it, his perspective on it. Not everybody has a rival, man. I'm telling you. Not everybody does. But those of you that have been through it and you get it, you understand exactly what we're talking about. And that's important. That is, you got to play the games because you get a check. How you play the game determines the kind of support that you get from being around it. And we all have a story as to where we were the time that our biggest moment in this rivalry took place. So we'll see. We'll chat about it. 301-230-0980 is the number. DOC in for the coach. And, of course, we've been really delighted at the job that's being done behind that glass today because Maximilian has been smoking hot. We'll be back. those of you that follow Coach Sheehan religiously, you realize that he's on that yacht and chilling and relaxing, and he deserves it, and we wish him well. It is what some of us refer to as Dallas Week. Others, it is the Commanders are playing on Christmas Day against Dallas. So we're divided in that, and that's okay. I think we'll come to a realization that by kickoff, I think we'll all be on the same page. And one man that will be as close to this as anybody I know is my old partner in crime, Scott Jackson, who joins us once again. Are you on the boat, or are you in the loft, or what's your assignment for today?
My assignment for today is preparing for 16 or 17 people,
working?
I think it is.
Yes.
Meal. Yeah.
Okay, family.
Totally
meal,
working. Yeah. I'm getting a 10-minute reprieve right now to talk to you. But yes, it's going to be, since Christmas has been interrupted by the NFL, and in their infinite wisdom, they didn't think about a flex schedule option for this day. Tomorrow, I will be working tomorrow. So I will do kind of a different type of Christmas this year, which is fine. It happens.
Yeah. As long as you got that house fact with people you're crazy about.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's really all that matters.
We will have fun.
So as a veteran, what stance are you taking? Are you calling this Commanders versus Dallas, or is it Dallas Week?
Hopefully we'll see a glimpse of Dallas Week. Here's the problem with pumping yourself up to think it's Dallas Week. What was the last magical moment you saw in this series from this franchise's standpoint, right? And you understand the other side of it, where they think this franchise is whatever. They don't recognize it the same way we do in our market. It's just been a bit, like what are the shocking outcomes, the scab game, Colt McCoy, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
You got to go back in time. I mean, there's, the last year, you beat them once, lost to them the other time. That was actually the time they won at FedEx. Reminded me that it was Dallas, right? Because that's like you were better than them. They came in there and knocked you off and surprised you that game. The last week of the season, my God, you had to fight till literally the last second to beat them. This year, that game was atrocious down there. And then the Ron Rivera era, there was the one on Thanksgiving that, when they ran up the score on them, which was fun. But, there was a lot of just forgettable games. But, it's one of those series, though, that over time when you really think somebody's a legitimate, no hope opponent, like I think it feels like with this Commanders team tomorrow with Josh Johnson, going in there, it is, it sets up for one of those surprising moments. And again, it's on national TV, well, at least for those that won't have buffering, on Netflix, it'll be, it's seen by everybody. In theory, it'll be seen by everybody. But obviously, we know when you put these games in these streamers, it's not seen by as many people. But the NFL will continue to tell you that it's so profitable to do it this way, which I'm sure it is. It lines their pockets, but less people see your product when you do this. But anyway, point being is, I hope to think after 4:00 tomorrow, I'm sitting there going, wow, this was, another reminder that this is just not your normal average run-of-the-mill division game.
The 13 quarterback, there have been some, I don't know what your show has delivered from the fans in the 757 that are saying it's not their fault that a man with their 13 quarterbacks experience, they keep saying doesn't get reps. Why doesn't he get reps?
That's one of the fascinating things about the NFL. You hear this in all markets. It's not just unique to Washington, right? Like you see this week in and week out, guys come in and they don't get reps. But then there's guys like Phillip Rivers who literally was, coaching high school football.
Right.
And is probably, if we're being generous, 30 to 40 pounds overweight, comes in and is better than the guys that were in camp all year for that team, outside of Jones before he got hurt. Is kind of frightening. And I would think, look, Josh Johnson's played a lot of games. We saw this guy on very limited reps come in here when this team was still called the Redskins and win a game. I mean, so it's not that crazy to me. Now I would ask, like last week, sure, it's probably the first time he was ever in the huddle with these other guys. I get that. First couple throws were pretty good. And then obviously as the game went on, it kind of unraveled on him. But yeah, I mean, this is not, this is a guy who's got a lot of experience. We've seen our guy, the Pasternak do it before too. There's been certain kind of backup quarterbacks that have been able to deliver for teams on short work weeks and short notice. So hopefully, you get that from Josh Johnson tomorrow.
Yeah, Max and I were a little bit of a wrestling match in the significance of it. Of course, our age difference is quite obvious. And to me, it was just a way of living. It was a way of life. It was never, ever questioned. And it doesn't matter where the teams are going. Now they're going nowhere in the same direction. But it was still a bragging right principle.
Yeah.
You asking me to admit that no longer matters? I don't believe that.
Well, I think it does in the fan base for sure. Hey, look, I think Dan Quinn's done a good job leaning into this, NFC's tournament thing. And I know people are laughing because, you're last place or second to last place. And, what does it really mean anyway? You just fall out of the draft order. But as you know this, because you live the life, guys inside that building, they don't know where their next paycheck's coming from after the season. So why would you go out there and, fall down, so to speak, for some rookie that you don't even know, and you don't even know if they'll make the right pick, by the way, and that person could take your job. It doesn't make sense. I mean, everybody's putting on audition tapes every week. So that part of the equation where we've come into this tankathon mentality, ironically, which comes from the NBA, and of course, the owner we know well, is kind of weird how we've kind of all embraced this now over on the NFL side, and very rarely do you get that one-of-one guy who comes in and fixes a franchise for you completely. And if he does, it's usually short-lived. I mean, we saw that to some degree with Joe Burrow, certainly, in Cincinnati. But if you don't do the right stuff around him, it doesn't matter. And I guess you could argue the same thing here, last season with Jaden. But, this year, the thing went off the rails for a lot of reasons. But so I don't know. I just think it's funny. It's more of a fan conversation than reality in the building conversation about, games matter, what have you. I mean, I think all these guys understand what's at stake for themselves, on a selfish standpoint. There's 1 million guys on one-year deals in this team, and there's going to be a huge turnover. Even if this team was, coming in the week at 11-3, there would be a huge turnover of this roster next year, just like there was last year.
Well, yeah, it, and you have to deal with it, as you do on a day-to-day basis. I look at this and go, the guys that we have been here long enough now that lack of anything should not be an excuse in late December for guys that have been in the program. And we have a lot of people still that we don't know if they can play because they don't get a chance to play.
Yeah.
And this is valuable time now because you got comparable competition that you will not have next preseason. So to me, it's now or never.
Yeah, that's the tough thing because you're right. I mean, you have these 2 games here with whatever you have left in a roster, which is hard to evaluate because it's not probably the main characters going into the fall next year. But you also have to figure out the depth part of it still. So that's important. It's all valuable. But, yeah, that's the thing I've been most uncomfortable with about this entire end of the season, which is, you're telling me you're basically, your quarterback's not playing until next week 1 because we know how they handle the preseason unless they're going to change their attitude about how they handle the preseason. We just know, whatever it was, they weren't ready. Whatever we can blame on, holdouts, bad roster construction, injuries, whatever. Yeah. You can blame it on a lot of things, but all we know is the results. That's all you can base it on. Is the famous in the great Bill Parcells used to say, "You are what your record says you are." So they're pretty terrible. I mean, that's the bottom line. So they've got to own that and do something about it. And hopefully they don't lie to themselves and think that, hey, we just tee it up with the majority of the same guys. They're going to get a different result next year. Hopefully they got better sense than that. But I mean, that's from a coaching staff standpoint to the personnel too. I mean, you can't just go status quo in the next year.
Well, I'm good with it, man. It means a lot. Give my best to the family and Bow Wow. I think they want you back over there to do your thing.
My dog
go like walk the dog.
Upset. Yeah, if anybody's near the property, she's letting them know.
Yeah, ESPN Radio 94.1. We appreciate them sharing you with us, and I hope you have something really good to talk about tomorrow when it's over.
Me too.
As do I.
Yeah, me as well, because otherwise it's going to be kind of a lousy Dub River Christmas dinner. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everybody out there. We'll catch up soon.
Absolutely, my man, Scott Jackson, and getting it done daily at ESPN Radio 94.1 down to 757. I know Polly's somewhere smiling right now. Here it is, man. It's before us. We have to deal with it, and I'm glad it's happening this way. I like finishing throughout with the people within our division. That is good because it's mano a mano. And who doesn't want to win this just for the heck of it? I mean, just for the heck of it. Mac, you in?
I'm always in.
All right, good deal. I just want to check, man. Just want to check to make sure you hadn't lost your enthusiasm.
Never.
All
Maybe
right,
this
let's
season,
take this.
but
All right, let's take this to the next break. We'll get it set. Give you a chance to tee some action up. 301-230-0980. And where do you stand? Are you on the fence, on the rope? Are you all in, or could you care less? Holla at me. We'll be right back. DOC, Maximilian in holding it down for Coach Sheehan. And the head man, Burgundy and Gold, DQ, is at the microphone.
All right. Hello, everybody. All right. When I get started, like it's a Friday for us. I'll hit you on some captains first. On offense would be Chris Rodriguez. And, man, does he impact our team in a lot of really cool ways. Defensively, Frankie Luvu. I thought division games, man, these are tough physical games. And his warrior spirit will definitely be leaned on. And I thought in a field position game, Tress Way is our captain on the special team side. And so it was nice to get to spend some extra time with him and kind of talking about the Pro Bowl and kind of all he means to us. So thought I'd give you some clarity on the plan at quarterback. As we got through the week, Josh Johnson will start. Jeff Driscoll will be the backup. And we're also signing Sam Hartman to the 53. He'll be the emergency third. So wanted to give you guys as much clarity as I had as I went through the week. And now I'll open up to you guys and we can get started with questions.
Go ahead, Con.
Hey, Dan, why not have Sam be the number 2? He's been here for a couple of years. He's been in your system. What's holding him back at this point?
Yeah, we just thought as we're going into it, didn't get a lot of team reps as it went, John, and when you're, kind of going through the season as the 4. So we thought Jeff would add a different dimension to us. And next week we'll play out differently. So that was what we decided was the best thing this week on a short one. But everything's open. That's what we discussed with Sam as we head into next week's game.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Nikki.
Sorry, my voice is awful. For Marcus, he'll be ruled out, obviously, right?
Yes. Yep. Marcus, will be ruled out. And so it'll go Josh, then Jeff, and then Sam will be the emergency third.
And is there a chance that Marcus could be available for the finale, or is it?
We hope so, Nikki. As we're going through, just wasn't ready to turn more for the quad than the hand as it went. And so I'll have a better sense for it for next week, but I'm hopeful for that. But I don't know exactly when. It was just not able to go turn now. I think, after this, it'll be 3 more days. And as we get into Monday of next week, we'll have a better sense of, okay, let's push it to make it to there.
Tom, do you have one?
I guess I'll just ask about Josh briefly. What's
Sure.
your level of confidence in him, and what have you seen from him kind of over the course of the season that gives you confidence?
Yeah, I think what I liked, let's start like maybe from the now, Tom, of what I've seen this week. Obviously, like it won't look, exactly the same with Josh under compared to Marcus and Jaden into that space. He's got lots of versatility, and so we wanted to make sure when you're going into it, when you're getting the reps as the starter, what can we do to feature the things, that allow you to be that. Like all these guys bring different things to the table. And so we'll try like hell to feature Josh in that way too. So plenty of experience, but we'll try to tailor the game plan towards Josh now that he, took, the lion's share of the reps for the week.
Ben, you have one?
Yeah, Dan, thanks. I know obviously Jaden's out, but is there any update on his status? Has he been cleared for contact, or where is he at just physically?
Yeah, so he was able to practice, like the limited part that we did for this week. We'll get more into next week. We're not pushing the contact portion like, diving down to go. We're ruling him out, in that space. So for him, it's the practice piece to go through the contact portion. Then you're into the tackling and the contact based on the position, Ben. So we haven't gone through that process and that step with him. It's more on the practice and, emphasizing the things we wanted to get work on. So that's the space that we're in regarding him.
Let's go to Sean and then Moises.
Hey, Dan, I know you guys still have some work to do today, but, Deron Payne and Laramie Tunsil haven't practiced so far this week. Do you have any update on their statuses for game day?
Yep. I'm glad you brought those up to Sean. So there's a couple guys that won't likely make it back for the game. The first one will be linebacker Nick Ballore, and then unlikely with Deron and Laramie Tunsil. So Deron with his back, that's like hasn't turned like we wanted, and same thing with Laramie on the oblique. So in that spot at tackle, Brandon Coleman took the reps at the left, and then with Cosme out, we've worked both Allegretti and Wiley in at the guard, and we'll work both of them into that spot, in the game as well. And so lots of experience with those two. We're fortunate that we have that kind of experience. So Sam's obviously out, and that's how we'll go about it, Deshaun. So yeah, I'm glad you brought those ones up.
Hey, Coach, going back to the Chris Rodriguez, making him a captain at the beginning of training camp, he he said something very interesting. I've always been the guy who has to wait for my name to be called, but when I'm called upon, I'm always ready. Can you talk about him and why is it that he has impressed you this season?
Yeah, he certainly lives to that. And I think it's his consistency that we always lean on. Chris is somebody that we count on and delivers in those spaces. I love his toughness. We thought, hey, division game, as we're going to battle for it, it was kind of in that spot of Frankie, but it's his consistency both on and off the field, what he brings as a teammate. That's really what sets Chris apart. We're all proud of him, of the work that he does, but man, that consistency is what we really admire about him. The toughness, the finishing, that goes with the play. What you don't see is just the way he handles himself as a professional. He literally makes other people better just by like how he pours into them to help them develop. That's with Bill. That's, with tight ends, offensive line. It's pretty remarkable.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Charlie. Anybody else? Everybody all good? All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Merry Christmas.
What'd you think? How'd you feel?
I mean,
he's smooth. He's calming.
Well, he's always done that. Dan's always
good.
been very, very good at that.
Good, man.
But man, gonna be Josh Johnson on the morrow. I don't know how I feel too much about it. I don't really feel any type of way. A lot of people are making something about Sam Hartman and him not getting any run time. I don't really understand it. Well, I do understand it, but at the same time, these people who are getting worked up about things like this have got to realize he's not getting paid to play quarterback. He's getting paid to hang out with Jaden Daniels and be a good vibes guy in the locker room. And that's kind of the long and short of it, at least from my perspective, because everything I've seen from him in the preseason has been largely unimpressive. And there's a reason he's just kind of on the practice squad. So he's just kind of an emergency fourth guy at this point.
But he's got to be able to run your offense.
Listen, I think I'm sure he can run it, but can he run it well and make the throws he needs to make in the timing that he needs to make it in? I'm sure he knows the offense. It's just the factors outside of it, aka the defense, are a little bit of a trouble for Sam Hartman.
Yeah, I'm really at a loss. I mean, because you bring an elder statesman on, you watch Indianapolis. Now, he was never as good as this guy, even in his prime. I get all of that.
Still slinging it.
But and you could tell that he didn't have enough horsepower for certain throws or the stamina to play this game. And this guy was elite. And it shows you the degree of difficulty. But nobody expects you to roll out off your couch and go play. But if you're there, Hartman, these guys have been there all year. All year.
And then some.
And how can you not be comfortable about at least a package? I have something going that you're confident. If not, why are you there?
Right.
And I keep going, hey, you numbskull. You say there's only 12 of them worth their existence in the whole league.
Mm-hmm.
It's the very difficult position to man, to teach, and to hope to get some results out. We don't still know about the Daniel Jones deal. The injury, unfortunately, cost him. But how did he recover? How was he able to do what he did this year? These guys go up and down between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Look at how many quarterbacks. I tell you what, it is. I'm a little confused as to how the position is addressed based on what a long shot it has become to find somebody capable of running your team and running your offense.
That's why evaluators.
That's why we took Mariota for granted. You took him for granted.
Absolutely. That's why evaluators are so important. And I think I think Tavita did a great job in that evaluation, along with the scouting staff. Bring both Jaden and Marcus in. I'm a little worried about where Marcus is going to go after this year. I mentioned it yesterday. I think he could end up being a bridge guy for the Chiefs for the moment, since you've got Mahomes and Minshew out. So I don't know, man. I hope that going forward that they can kind of continue to retain or at least find guys that can make it work, much like Marcus. I'm not sure who that would be if it's not going to be Marcus.
Well, who's that talented that wants to be a 2?
Right. And
as bad as a lot of the ones are.
Well, and that's the thing. Marcus finds himself in such a sweet spot for that because he found himself in such a sweet spot for that because of how things ended in Philly and Atlanta, that not a lot of teams were like, okay, we can give you $10 million to be a backup and mentor this guy. And now that Marcus has done it and become a real strong leader on this team, I could definitely see somebody like the Chiefs or somebody like the Colts that would be more than willing to give him, say, like 15, something like that for a couple years to
be
keep,
a gap man.
Yeah, to just kind of keep on keeping on.
I tend to agree with you. I tend to agree with you because he's still got some tricks in his bag. And this is all without not having a consistent ground attack to support him.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell would he be like with a running game?
If only we knew, man. If only we knew.
Well,
what would he be like if he weren't the primary part of the running game? That's another question. But that's also just a big part of his game.
Yeah, I like that. It makes a lot of sense. In some instances, we're not that far away, and then we're not that close. It's just one of those weird deals where we were questioning fight after one loss. They cleaned that up when Minnesota came to town, and they competed. We've seen that dog in them, but unfortunately, it's not on demand. It's once they get backed up.
Yeah, once your
they'll
back's
fight
against
out.
the wall, and they'll fight it out.
Yeah,
Like
they'll fight you out,
like they did against
but
the Broncos.
It's not on. Yeah, it's not on demand.
Next week,
Yeah, it's just not on demand.
Right.
And that is something that to me, oh boy, it is interesting to follow. But that's where we're in the interesting business, to see this and to feel it and to look that way across the board. And after you see Hard Knocks, I think you'll understand a little bit more. We'll be a little closer on this. Lamont Jordan's seen a lot. The Jets, the Raiders. We know him as a collegiate. He was a terror. But he understands the game. And he's an owner. He's an operator. He's a former GM. The man has been involved in a lot. Can't wait to get his perspective. And, of course, when you grow up in the DMV, I bet you he knows a little something about the Dallas-Washington rivalry. He joins us when we return right here on the Sheehan Show. DOC in with Mad Max.
All right, Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. We will start off with a recap of last night's games. The Wizards, they fall yet again, this time to the Charlotte Hornets. The Wizards off to a hot start, entering halftime with a 65-62 lead, but unable to find ways to close out games still. That's been the big problem for them all this season long. Hornets get the win 126-109. The Caps, they fall in a bout with the New York Rangers. Quite a performance from former Capital Taylor Radish as he notched 2 goals of his own. Good guys kept it tight up until the third period, entering the final frame with a 3-2 lead, but a 5-goal flurry in the third period lifts the Rangers over the Caps by a score of 7-4. The Caps are off for NHL's Christmas break and will return on Saturday in a contest with the New Jersey Devils. This update is sponsored by the Team 980 YouTube page. Just open the app, type in the Team 980, hit subscribe. Kevin Sheehan is live every day from 10 to 1. You can catch programs like Take Command in Denton's office throughout all of football season. Don't forget to hit the like button whenever you do decide to join us and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all things DC sports. And that is what's trending.
Mm-hmm. Holiday cheers from the Kevin Sheehan Show, DOC. DH today, Maximilian on Vibes. And we've got one of my all-time favorites, man. This man put it down. Back in the day when the running back was king of the hill, Lamar Jordan joins us. And I'm going to ask you to put your fan cap on, not your super skills running back cap. What does Washington Dallas mean to you?
Man, Doc, you know, growing up in the area, just as a kid, like man, listen, I can't stand the Cowboys. And for me, it started as a kid because we had a lot of guys who were Cowboys fans. And I'm just thinking to myself, how can you be from this area and be a Cowboys fan? Like, it just didn't make any sense. And so for me, it was just a bunch of bandwagon people. And so growing up being an Elway and a Montana fan, the 49ers and the Cowboys. So I just could not stand the Cowboys. And I just can't stand the Cowboys. It was, Doc, it was even to the point where when I became a free agent, I told my agent, I was like, listen, I refuse to wear a Cowboys uniform. I don't care how much they were willing to pay me, but I'm not playing for that team. So for me, regardless of what the schedule,
time out. Max, you with me? Did I hear him just say it doesn't matter how much they're willing to pay me? Did I hear him say that?
Yeah, I said it, Doc.
Max,
I said it.
Okay.
For me, it's just every when I put on a uniform, it means something to me, and I just couldn't see myself having that star on my helmet, man. And so for me, it doesn't matter what the record is. I really think that the fans, you know, just the diehard Commanders / Redskins fans, along with all of these Cowboys fans that are in this area, you know, for me, I get excited for it. And Doc, let me tell you, my disgust for the Cowboys, it really settled in even more when I was with the Patriots. You know, when I was with the Patriots in 2008, we came home, we had our bye week, and the Commanders were playing. I believe they were playing the Cowboys during the bye week. And I'm out amongst the fans and watching the game, and I just felt just the energy in that place when they played each other. And then at the end of the season, Doc, we finished the season 11-5. We're getting ready to play on a Sunday. The Cowboys are playing the Baltimore Ravens on a Saturday night. Mm-hmm. If the Cowboys beat the Ravens and we beat the Cardinals, we make the playoffs. And I'm sitting there watching that game, and the Cowboys running back just dropped the pitch. The Baltimore Ravens picked it up, and the Ravens go on to win the game. And we get eliminated from the playoffs because the Cowboys just couldn't hold on to the ball and run the clock out. So for me, it doesn't matter what the record is. When the Commanders and the Cowboys are playing, I'm watching and I'm rooting for the Commanders.
I feel you. That's a great story. It's tough to have to hope that they win or lose. You don't want to bet on them. It happened to me in '84. I believe they were playing the Niners. And if they won, we're in. If they lose, we're out. And of course, they lost. So it's just another one of those things where you go, you got to be kidding me. You don't want to have to depend on them for nothing.
No,
Absolutely
you don't.
Nothing.
But Doc, I will tell you this. In this game, you know, I'm excited because for me, it's about getting ready for next year. Of course, we want to win a game. We don't know what's going to happen with Mariota. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets picked up by another team. So seeing a guy like Josh Johnson getting his opportunity to play with Terry and to be able to play with Debo. And I'm excited to see what Brandon Coleman is going to do. As much as I can't stand the Cowboys, I do respect the fact that they always have ballers, especially on that defensive line. So being able to see what Brandon Coleman is going to do with this opportunity. Also with Mikey, I want to see how Mikey does against these wide receivers. You know, one thing about Mikey for this year,
And it didn't dawn on me until I was recruiting a cornerback this year. And I was able to get her. Her name is Callie. She played for Kansas City. And she said to me, I want to come to Prodigy because I want to get better in practice. And your wide receivers, you have the best wide receivers in the league. And the only way I'm going to get better is if I'm practicing against the best. And when I think about the year that Mikey is having, I'm thinking to myself, who was he going against in practice during training camp that was going to help him to get better? Terry wasn't there, and the rest of the wide receivers that you have aren't going to prepare you for the big dog wide receivers that you're going to play throughout the season. So I'm really excited for Mikey to get his chance to go against the wide receiver core of the Cowboys. Like I said, Brandon Coleman. And you know, I'm just, it's a game. It's a football game. We go all off season just being dehydrated because we want to watch football. We want to watch our team play. And so for me, it doesn't matter what the record is. I'm going to go out, I'm going to watch the game, and I'm going to cheer for the Commanders, and I'm going to hope they win. But more importantly, I just want to see these guys go out here and compete.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Max, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know what else we could ask from you. Because I don't think the body of work, such short sample sizes of consistency on both sides. So that just comes down to it's a mandate issue. Who really wants, and I don't know if you've been watching Hard Knocks within the division.
No, I watched, man, you know what? I watched one episode, but when to be honest with you, when everybody, with the exception of one team in your division, is actually going to make it to the playoffs, this isn't like it's Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, or San Francisco, Seattle, and the Rams. For me, I really don't care about the Hard Knocks type thing. The only thing that's Hard Knocks for me is what I see on Sunday. Are you going to come out there? Are you going to go and smack somebody, or are you going to get pushed around? And so that's what matters most to me.
I'd like to go on that note, Max, because that's pure football, and the game will be decided between the lines. And I hope the next time we chat, we're basking, we're tipping our glasses, our goblets will touch because there's a victory at hand. Happy holidays, my brother. Enjoy your family.
Same to you, Docs. Appreciate you.
You got it, man. Lamont Jordan. I say this once, I say it twice. As Coach would say, he is simply one of the best.
You know, Doc, we got some calls here if you want to get to them. Since we're still in the last segment, we still got some time here. You want to get to here? Let's bring in. What's up, Paulie? How we doing?
Oh, 757.
Happy
holidays.
W, man. Happy holidays, Doc. Happy holidays, Max.
I never take this for granted.
Yo, you said, what does the game mean to me? It means everything to me. I mean, I take it back to, I tell you, my fandom was born the We Won Dallas game, 81. The We Won Dallas game, and that was just not just a game, but
don't do that. Don't take me back to that moment.
Yeah, come on, man. Dexter Manley saying he was going to knock Danny White out the game, and he knocked him out the game.
He said he's going to clean his clock.
World Grant with the touchdown.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated cover.
The stands rocking. You know what I mean? Russ Grimm telling them what the play's going to be, and still 5-6 yards to carry with Riggo. But most importantly of all, man, me and my father watched that game together. And and my dad at that time, he wasn't a big sports guy, but he knew that I was, just started my love for the Redskins, and that's what they was then. And so, you know what I mean? Me and him watched that game together, and that was like one of our first bonding moments as father and son. It's my father, he's my stepfather, but that's my father, that's my dad. So at that time, that was one of our first bonding moments. So I'll never forget that game. And that's, like I said, my fandom was born there. Burgundy and gold to the day I'm cold. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I hope
this game always means to me, man.
Yeah,
Family.
that game.
Family.
if they could ever reenact that game, that's a game for the seasons, simply because of how the stakes were so big. The atmosphere, I don't know if it can ever be duplicated, because in pregame warm-up, when you heard those chants, remember the diesel horn?
Yeah.
And I go back to that. Oh, yeah. I go back to that at least once a month if I'm triggered to somebody mentioning something about it. And if Chris Johnson's out in listening land, he'll know exactly what I mean, in that all the regular characters, the Dave Butts, Monty Coleman. I remember the fans, though, in the seats and all the movement and the chant.
Right.
And when Riggo came out for pregame warm-up, this is pregame warm-up, just to jog around. It was as loud as I've ever heard anywhere, anything. Man, it was crazy.
And that's why we're so passionate about what's happening with the team over the past 30 years and even this season. Is because a lot of us are still around from that time. We still, a lot of us are still here. And that's the one time, the one game, you can't tell me that 65,000 people didn't affect the emotions of 53 people on that other team. Because they were shook from the word go.
Oh, yeah.
It was 12 players. It was 12 players on the field on offense and on defense. We outnumbered them, and we took it to them that game.
It was a hostile
I'll never
environment.
forget that feeling, man.
Yeah.
Never. At home. When them stands was rocking and jumping, I was at home rocking and jumping in my pajamas.
You should have heard it in the huddle.
Yeah, man.
Should have heard it in the huddle.
I could have.
And that's when when the infamous 7-play drive plays being rejected that are coming in from the sidelines and being overruled by the Hogs, and then Riggo and the trash talking with Mark May. Man, it was just so. It's like it should be supported really with its own film. This should be a movie.
I'm gonna end it with this. Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we lost last week. I was proud of them boys, though. They showed up, showed out, and when they tried to push them around, they pushed them to the ground. I don't care. You say what you want to say. And we stood up for ourselves. You know what I mean? They want to come in, they want to fight, they got to fight. And that's the same mentality I need to see tomorrow, man. They don't want to fight, we here to fight. We're going to take the fight to you. So,
yeah,
you know what
I
mean?
like that. I like that.
F Dallas, man. Hell to the
Enjoy your family.
Doc, I love you, man.
Enjoy your family, man. God bless you. We got to go out. That's the way to go out, or go to Bobby. What say you, Maximilian?
Let's hit Bobby before we get out of here. He's been on hold for a little bit. I want to give him an opportunity.
All right, Bobby, closing shot.
All right. It's the Zabe's Army. I'm telling you right now, I've been a Redskins fan. I got 79 years into this stuff. It's repulsive to think that would lose a game. I remember 1960 Griffith Stadium. I used to ride a trolley car down there with my dad and uncle. The time we beat them, the first time we played them. And ever since, my whole family tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we're going to my cousins. We'll have that game on, rooting every play. Okay? That's the way I feel about it.
Well, are you an executive member of Zabe's Army? How many members are in Zabe's Army?
Lots. Be surprised how many guys out here that are not your age, because I'm older than you. You're young, and we're all out here. We're listening every day. We don't call much, but you got too many geniuses calling, like Sabab and Ion. You got those guys calling. But I'm gonna leave you with a fun one.
Yes, Bobby.
I did have an electric football game and a transistor radio.
Yes. Yes.
And to show you how smart you are, the other day when you were on, when everybody's trying to figure out what happened, I knew the minute in the second game when Austin Eckler went down, we were in trouble because that's our switch Army night.
You know it.
The 49ers, when they lose McCaffrey, their whole changes the whole game. Okay, you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy
Bobby,
New
you do
Year.
the
I'll
same,
check
man. Love your vibe, man. Hail to Zabe's Army. That's no other way to close a segment than with that kind of traditional support. That's old school. If you put Bobby and you put 757 and Lap and Jay, Rob, all the people involved in that, that paints a picture. That's it about this tradition. Bert, you think that it's over? I don't think so. In many rights, with your group, Max, this thing can live on. Because I think you feel it. That was just a short sample size of what's available. And I think it's going to be enough to get us over the finish line.
I hope so.
I don't know if we'll outscore them, but we're going to compete.
That we will. It'll be a fight. We might get a fight on Christmas. That'd be fun.
Well, as long as we score more points than there, I'll be okay with it. And I definitely have to be on the grounds so I can really embrace this and feel this the way it needs to be felt. I look forward to that. And post-game show as well, as we're always working to keep hope alive. It's a good thing. Max, you're the best, brother.
Love you, Doc. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Appreciate that, man. Happy holidays to all of you. And the coach and his staff. Man, just embrace him, enjoy him. Can't wait to get him back.